Welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast where we try to figure it all out. With your hosts, Brandon and Collin. On this week's show, Nasal Afflictions. Ahoy.
Ahoy.
How's it going?
Well, I don't know exactly. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Should I not be able to hear you fine? Or...
My microphone is like making scratchy noises when I talk into it. So that doesn't sound great.
You just got boomier all of a sudden.
I did?
Yeah. Did you get closer?
No.
It's fine. Okay. Cool. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not worried.
Okay. Well, we'll see how this goes.
Okay, maybe I'm a little bit worried, but it's fine. It's fine. I mean, seriously, what's the worst that's going to happen? Nobody knows.
Let's not talk about that.
Oh my goodness. It's been a week so far, and
it sounds like it has been for you. What the heck are you doing?
I don't know anymore. Honestly, I don't know. It's off the rails. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere in between. I I'm not gonna say completely forgot, but like about 2 months ago, somebody approached us and was like, "Hey, you're dog people. I'm tired of people who have dogs who don't know basic like training and things for dogs. I'm also the one who puts on our local home and garden show. I'd like for you to come and give some talks about dog training and dog best practices for dogs." And I was like, awesome. No worries. That's forever away. I have plenty of time to prepare for this. Obviously. It's in 2 days. Oh no. And do I have anything prepared to talk about? I do not. I have no clue. I realized yesterday that I was like, I don't even know what times I'm supposed to be there. I don't know how long this is supposed to be. I don't know when I'm supposed to show up. I don't know what I'm going to have available. Like I have nothing.
These are all problems. Just in case you didn't know that.
Yep. So I definitely Collin has problems. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. It's like she got back to me and was like, "Oh, it's 30 minutes. I have a podium for you." And I was like, "Sweet. I can you know what I can do? I can talk about anything for 30 minutes. I'm fine. Never mind. Like there's no I don't have to have a presentation together. I have to do anything together. I just get to show up and I just have to literally shuck and jive. That's my life. That's all I do. I show up to places.
You may need a note card.
Okay, yeah, so I can stay on topic.
That's right. Yeah, on topic.
Yeah,
so that you don't start talking about like who knows.
And the Russians
safety vests or like high visibility jacket. I
have a lot of opinions about high vis jackets, actually.
Oh, I've heard that about you, but
yeah, so that's my thing that I'm like, right. So I've survived with Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm ready to go. Wednesday, I was down. I had what had happened was last week we wanted to go to the grand opening of a new business in our other service area, and I had said, I want to go to this. I see it's been posted by the local chamber. I'm going to do this. So I drove down there, I'm waiting outside. I walk in, and I'm like, there's nobody here. It's like starting now. It's weird. And I talked to the manager of the store, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, they got the wrong day. It's next week."
Oh no.
That's not what I wanted to hear, because we were actually really busy yesterday, and I should not have really driven. Like I needed to do stuff here at home and around. Like I should not have been gone yesterday. But it was like, well, if I am going to be gone, I'm not going to just go down and go down for just this 1 hour event, right? Like I need to be doing other things while I'm down there. So I was like, okay, well, I got to go to this networking thing and I got to go meet up with this person. I'm going to go try and do this thing. So I had to throw all that together to make my time worth it. And this is something that I've been stewing on for a long time. Like how I have developed these kind of, I call them boxed schedules, kind of like a boxed lunch of like, I have these schedules of like stuff I can do when I'm in a particular context, specifically 2 hours south of where I live. Like when I'm down there, I have to have all this like pre-made, pre-planned stuff because I'm usually down there. Like I can be down there on a scheduled basis of like when I want to be and stuff. But a lot of times I'm down there at the spur of a moment. And so I was like, okay, I need to, so that I don't, not just wasting time driving around or like there sitting in something in a coffee shop trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I just need to have all this stuff somewhere so that I can go, okay, I'm here. I can open this up. Boom, boom, bing, done. Right. And I'm doing this thing now. So also, when businesses say that they're open and then they're not, I get angry, but I'm that kind of person. So I was doing a lot of deep breathing exercises.
It wasn't them that said they weren't open. It was the people doing the thing, right? So it wasn't their fault.
Oh right? No, this is a separate business. This was a separate business.
Okay.
I was like,
whoa, you took a hard turn there, like real quick. Like,
yeah, no. These people, they're fantastic. So they make their own they've been making their own pet products like shampoos and soaps for like 7 years. They sell nationally. Megan,
cool.
Megan in a bygone era was she worked for a CPA and did bookkeeping for a lot of like, boutiques and stuff around the country. And what's funny is when she was doing the bookkeeping, she had to track expenses and stuff. She kept seeing the name of this place come up over and over and over again, like disparate around the country. And then turns out they manufacture them right out of south of Springfield there.
Sweet.
And so they were opening a boutique to sell their own products and a few other like pet stuff. So I was like, well, I have to go. So they're really fun. They're really good. But no, I tried to talk to somebody else and they're like, we open at 10. I was like, great. They're at 10:30 and their door was locked. And I was like, well, moving on, I guess.
That is a problem, right? Like that is a
how
I know things like happen, right? Like, but like you kind of like post that somewhere, can't be somewhere. Like, oh, surprise, just not going to come today.
Again, I'm a small business owner. I understand things happen. It's fine. I'm not judging. I was just frustrated because it's like, I'm here.
Maybe. Well, hopefully it wasn't a surprise to them too, right?
Right.
And they're like, oh, what do you mean we're not open?
Like open? Right. Yeah. So I did email while I was there. I emailed and he was like, oh yeah, sorry, I had to step away. I was like, cool. Thanks. Just be here, I guess. Anyway.
But not here because you're not here. Dang it. This has gone wrong.
Moving on. So yes, that was my yesterday of like, oh right, it's this day and I've got to go and I got to do things. And I used to do a lot of down and backs where it's like, I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. I'm going to drive 2 hours south. I'm going to spend all day down there driving around and doing stuff. And then I'm going to come home and drive 2 hours back. And I was like, the getting up at 5 a.m. to start and drive is not my favorite thing in the world.
That's terrible.
It's very terrible to like get up, basically throw some clothes on, grab a cup of water and get out the door and then drive for 2 hours. It's like, I can't do that. So been trying to go down the night before. So it's a little more relaxed, a little more, not quite so frantic.
That's true.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Yeah. It's working, I think.
Is it? Doesn't really sound like it's working.
Well, I mean, the schedule's still insane, but I'm not sitting there with my heart racing at 178 beats per minute, an hour and a half.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good because that's not healthy. That's not what you.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like will not be good. Yeah. So anyway, so now I have kind of tomorrow, but I did booked up tomorrow as well with other things. So I don't know when I'm going to be preparing for my presentation, but I think I'll be.
All right, we brainstorm right now. All right, live brainstorming session, right? If somebody says to you, so first of all, that's kind of a weird
Premise.
like premise of like, I don't like when people don't know about dogs.
Yes.
Like, what do you mean they don't know about dogs? Like, how do you not know about a dog? Like, what? Like, I feel like there's one specific thing that annoys this person.
Oh, I will tell you what it is.
Oh, did they tell you eventually? Like,
yeah.
Okay, good. Because I was hoping they didn't just be like, man, you should talk about people that don't know about dogs. And then like walk off. Like, wow, what is happening? No, that's like telling me like, oh man, some people don't know how to drive. And then I will rant for 75,000 years about how.
Yes. Yep. No, specifically, this was people who get a dog and then it barks a lot when it's outside.
Wait. That's it. That's the thing. Yo.
So what my thought process in this is, okay, this is actually systemic of a general thing. And I think it's actually more beneficial, better to focus on, hey, you've got a dog. Now what? Kind of like you've adopted a dog. Great. Or you got a puppy. Okay, fantastic. You have this thing in your home. What are 5 things that you can do right now to set yourself up for success?
Right? I mean, yes, that's right. Like, yeah, because I feel like you can't. Yeah, because some people do get a dog and then just like expect it to do dog things.
Yes,
like, by itself.
Yep.
Like, oh, you can do it, right? Like that's not how this works.
Right.
We need
right. So there's a lot of context here, right? You have to go, okay. The first thing I have to do is describe that there's the rules of 3s. Anytime we bring a new dog into any environment, it's 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. It's 3 days before their cortisol levels start dropping, right, from the stress. It's 3 weeks before they start to understand their routine, and it's 3 months before they're settled in and they feel at home. Like, and obviously this is you can move this up or down depending on the dog, right? And depending on
but like, it's good to have a general timeline.
Yes. Right. So we have to just lay that out. And so it's like, okay, how can I help transition? Well, we can use calming diffusers, we can use sprays, we can use white noise. But the biggest thing is get on a routine, right? Of the dog. Immediately start the routine. So that's the first thing as we start talking about routines and integrating and making sure that, because unfortunately what a lot of people do is they get a dog. And I see this all the time. They go, okay, I'm not going to get a dog until the summer when I'm home more. And the kids are home too. And that way we have all summer to train and work with the dog. And then we'll be ready when we go back to school. And I'm like, see, here's the thing. That dog,
now the dog got used to all the attention, and now
see, and the dog got too used to you being home all the time. Like, especially I hear this from a lot of teachers, obviously like teachers or just families with kids. They're like, oh, I'll just wait till the summer because we'll have more time. Like, no, that's actually a really bad time because that's not your normal, right? That's not what it's going to look like for the majority of the year.
Plus also you have, if we think about that rule of 3, you have taken approximately 3 months to get the dog used to a routine, and then you will suddenly change it when you go back to school or you go back to right. So you'll have like just got it figured out, and then whap, like mess it all up again. So that's
and then you're back to the races, and then you get the calls. My dog is anxious, and I can't leave home. It's being destructive. What do I do? And like, okay, like we're just okay. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'll give some product recommendations. So that. Then we need to start making sure that we are meeting the step 2 is the physical needs of the dog, and this is age.
Walk your dog.
Yep.
Don't just let it outside. Walk your dog.
Age and breed specific. What's the other word I'm looking for? Appropriate exercise.
Yes.
Making sure
not just. Yeah, because the walk. I mean, you know this obviously. So
but,
I'm not. I don't know. I'm
fine.
telling you. I don't know. I'm telling you this, but like,
go ahead.
You walking listeners. Walking the dog does more than just make the dog go to the bathroom, right? It is a form of like exercise for the dog and like energy release. Okay, and so I cannot abide when people just like tie their dog to the porch and just like leave them there. They're like, yeah, it's outside. Like, that's not the point.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's
yep.
That's not the point at all. Like, yes, part of going outside for going for like little walks is going to the bathroom, but also it's like bonding time with you in a certain sense, right? And it's exercise and just like roaming around, right? This is like a structured activity, not just like, yeah, go sit outside for a while. What I mean, obviously, if you live in like a country setting and your dog is like always outside, this is a different conversation. Okay. Like, I'm talking about like dogs that live inside with you and then you take them outside. Like, big dogs that live outside all the time, different rules, different expectations, different everything. So just, I know this. Okay, people, I know, but like,
well, you also have to remember that a lot of times people will just say, oh, well, my dog is in my backyard, it's fine. This doesn't provide appropriate physical exercise because there's no motivation to do a whole lot. Sure, they can kind of move around, but it's like, well, when you go and sit in your backyard, are you going running, right? How much exercise do you get when if I just locked you in your backyard, how much exercise would you be doing?
Yeah. So there's no like, unless you're there, there's no like play.
Right. So that's the other thing. I'm like, okay, doing the walks, getting that exercise for the age and breed appropriate and specific requirements for sure. But and health as we can with our health.
Yes.
Right? Got it. But then sure, do playtime. Because here's what a lot of people do. They get a dog, they wake up, they groggily make their coffee, they schlep around, they get dressed, then they sit, scroll on their phone, and then they leave for work. Meanwhile, they've opened up the door to get the dog to go outside, or tied it up to something. Or what I see as apartment complexes, people come down with the dog. They're still in their bathrobe, still in their slippers. The dog is frantic, goes around, pees, maybe poops. And then what did the person do? Immediately go back inside.
Yeah. They just like stand there while it like walks around them. Right. Like this.
Yes. And I go, and now what you're going to do is you are going to leave for 8, 9, 10 hours and hope your dog's okay. This is bad. This is really not okay. And so making sure that you are exercising with playtime, tug of war, chase, fetch, the titular fetch, right? This is a thing. Not every dog will enjoy this, but you find the activity that works for you and your dog as you are able, and you are consistent with it. See aforementioned step 1, set a schedule and set a routine. Do that. So that's a big component. The third one is make sure that you're meeting their mental stimulation needs. So when you do chain them up into the backyard, or do you put them in the backyard, they're going to get bored real fast. This actually leads to a lot of, barking. Because they're bored. They have nothing to do in their days. So sometimes they bark because they're bored. Sometimes it's because they're being excited or it's whatever by something. So you need to put up a fence, right, to help stop that visually. You can work on at this point if they are barking while they're outside. This is where consistency comes in. And if they do bark, you tell them quiet, or you say, I like to use the word quiet instead of no, because no is referred to a lot. You use that too much. It's overused. So pick a keyword. It's quiet. And the moment they even stop barking or get quieter or do something, you give them a treat. And then and you just repeat this process over and over and over again. Right? There's environmental stuff that you can take into account. But while they're outside, while they're walking, the walks help with mental enrichment, maybe getting them puzzles, getting them, those are fantastic. If you have somebody who can come over, if you have a sitter, if you have a dog walker, that provides enrichment. This is where we get into topics of socialization. What is socialization? It's not just I'm going to throw my dog into a group of 16, 20, 40, 100 other dogs and go for it. It's providing them access and exposure to new sight, sounds, smells, and experiences in a safe, controlled manner, which doesn't have to be groups of other dogs at all. And making sure that they have those needs met on a consistent basis as well.
That's true. I think also, just the side note here, that you just reminded me. Like, I think something that new dog owners need to be aware of too is that you should not be annoyed when your dog tries to smell stuff. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because
love it.
You got to think about some dogs, especially some breeds of dogs. They're basically a nose with legs, right? That's kind of that's what they are. Like, they experience the world so much through smell that it's kind of ridiculous. So, like, letting them smell things is good. And, like, obviously you don't want to stand there for like 10 minutes just smelling the same, like, one thing, right? You get them a little gentle, like, all right, come on, let's go. But, like, letting them smell things, I think, is an important thing to remember, because some people, like, don't do that and they get real mad when their dog, like, smells stuff. And you're like, what? That's kind of what they do. Like, it's kind of their thing, right? It's like, it's how they work.
Yeah. And it's not just something that they do, but it's absolutely essential. And for dogs who, especially young puppies, or older dogs who maybe can't get the physical side of things so well, this provides mental enrichment and stimulation. It's like doing a Sudoku or solving an extensive word puzzle. You're going to get tired after that, right? You're going to get tired. And it's very valuable in that aspect of this is good for the dog. And this gets to my fifth point, but we talked about setting the routine. That's just what you're supposed to do in the day. The biggest, the overarching component over all of this is your time and commitment. It takes time. It takes time to do all of this. It takes time to let your dog sniff without you feeling like you should not feel rushed or hurried. Plan and set that time appropriate. Sure, you're going to have rush days. You're going to have things where it doesn't fit, but you need to set the expectations of how long something should take, because you're giving your dog that chance. It's a long-term thing, and nothing's going to happen overnight. That's my number 5, I think. My number 4 would be after you've met the routine, set the routine, got the mental needs, physical needs. Fourth one would actually be starting training, getting some sort of training in there, waiting for the dog to get in the routine. So if you get a new dog, waiting till basically waiting for the dog to settle in. So between that 3-month mark, that get help with that. Don't wait for problems to arise. Training is about bonding and trust. It's not about obedience and punishment, which is what a lot of people think it is. It's training to use the crate. It's training to wait for you when you open the door instead of the dog bolting out. Training to halt. There's safety reasons for why we need to be training too.
Well, yeah, and it's just like anything else, right? It's just basically letting a dog know the rules of how things work, right? It's not really dissimilar to like the beginning of the year and like kind of the upkeep that you have to do in like a classroom as a teacher, right? Like, these are how things work. This is the procedure you have to do. I have to tell you this.
Yeah.
Right. Because you don't like automatically know it. Like, this is what happens here. This is what we go here. This is what we do here. This is how this works, right? Like, it's just sort of like reminding all the time, like, yeah, this is how it works. And like, that's what you have to do. That's kind of like it is teaching middle school, really, right? It's just like, oh, remember? Oh, no, why are you running on the stairs? That's not how stairs work. Get back over here. Like,
right. Yeah. And it's but too often people focus on that. They think it's just about punishing the dogs. And we get feedback where people will say, I don't want a robot. They'll say, I don't want a robot that's just an automaton that just does whatever I said. It's pre-programmed. It's going, well, awesome, because that's not what it's about at all. Like, sure, if you were training a guard dog or a tactile tactile, defense.
Yeah, those are different things. If you have like your what are those big monsters things, those cane corso things,
yes,
right?
yeah,
yes, those. Yes, please by all means make those like a little more, but like just like normal everyday dog working. Like your dog shouldn't like bolt out the door, right?
Yes,
because if you're carrying in groceries, then your dog just runs off.
Yep.
Or if it bolts out the door, it knocks you over, right? Or it gets hurt, or it hurts you, or you hurt it, right? You step on it, right? Like it's like a safety thing, right? It's just like how to be safe. Like your dog should not just see an open door and like run. That's just, who would think that's a bad idea? Like,
right. Well, and unfortunately, what happens is people think for a time it's funny and cute, right? And they go, "Oh, or what?" The thing that I've seen before, it's not frequent, but I've seen before is, "Oh, my dog jumps up to say hello. It gives you a big hug."
Oh yeah, no, I don't like that.
Right? Okay, okay, sure. So okay, this is okay. The boxer that does that, it's a little off-putting.
No, not
right. A little off-putting. It's kind of big. What question for you? What happens when your elderly mother comes over?
Yeah,
is jumping okay then? What about when your young niece comes over? Is it okay then to have them bowled over by the dog? Like this is where where people don't have these things in their brains of going, where's all the problems where this could come from? And sure, nobody can know or predict. But there are some best practices, right? There are some suggestions that we can do to go, what does it mean to have a family dog, right? Like, what is that? How do I have a dog that's integrated into my family? I'm going to know what my family's like, my activity levels, who this dog's going to be around. All of those things come into the decision for how and what we're training for to make sure it's going to be, because I mean, I do get clients who go, well, I've had this dog, usually older clients. I have this dog. I just, my son is having a kid. I'm going to have grandkids. I'm worried now because of how this dog reacts. And I'm like, yeah, right. It's not a problem until it is.
So, right it was fine before, right? Yeah, jump in and like playing real rough, or
my personal favorite. And this is the thing. This is the thing that gets people time and time again. Right. Okay. Chihuahua, on the couch, teeth barred, eyes wide, going insane. And people go, oh, it's so cute. It's such a cute little dog.
That dog is horrified of something. Right? He's like terrified.
Going, if you had a Rottweiler who was doing the same behavior, you would have this dog removed from your house immediately, and probably darted to do it. Right? Like there's this weird thing that happens with some dogs, and it goes, you're putting people at risk here, and this behavior is not cute. It's not okay. We've got to correct this. Like when I have to use oven mitts to pick up your dog to move them to safety, sometimes it's like, this is problematic, everybody. Like, and here's the other thing, right? Okay. Oh, it's funny. Fifi does that. What happens? Just quick question. What are you going to do when that dog needs insulin shots? Yeah.
Or just has to go to the vet.
Right. What is this funny now? Right? Is it cute and funny whenever you can't administer life-saving medication to your dog? Yeah. Gotcha. Like there are things to do and prepare. And again, I know that not every dog, some dogs are just going to be like that. We have to understand and admit that there are just some dogs who are going to be special cases. Unfortunately, people think that every dog is a special case, and they haven't tried anything. Right? Without,
yeah, true. Like,
Kobe, no matter how much we worked on him, he just, we could not get to the point where he was comfortable with us trimming his toenails. We could not. That was a barrier that we just could not break with him. So we just had to admit, he's got to go to the groomer for toenails. He's got to go to that. And that was just something that we knew was okay. This is a barrier that we can't cross with him. This is not okay. And the groomers loved him. They were like, oh, he's great. Like, of course, fine, great, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for costing me so much money. But you find those things. But like at least you know what's going on. So I do plan on having a prop there, since I do have a young, kind of rambunctious wild puppy that I have access to. So
that is true. Yes,
Cinnamon may be making her presentational debut.
Oh, official guest appearance.
Yes.
Looky there.
And actually, I think because she'll be working in a professional capacity, I got to figure out some way to like write this off for taxes.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
I had somebody say, oh, because my dog is my mascot for my business, all of they are considered, when I buy food for them, it's a business expense. And I was like,
that feels thin, right? Like that feels a little, I don't know about that. I don't
know. Like, I think I need to investigate that.
Or you can investigate that, but like that feels like made up, right? You know, those like have you seen those like shorts or TikToks or whatever, like that actual tax people, and they're listening to people on the internet say things like that, like, oh yeah, well when I do this, I write this off, and they're like, don't do that. You absolutely cannot do that.
Yes. Yes. It's like, yes.
Like there was that one lady, hers are great. She's always like, no, that's wrong.
I see that. It's that time of year, so I see it in our little pet communities and stuff where people are like, I bought a shirt, right? Can I write that off? Or like there's this weird stuff that's out there that people just think they can do. And it's like, no, really, no, like really, really, no, you can't do that.
I mean, there are weird things that you can, right? Absolutely do. But like also, there's a ton of things that people like think that you can do that are incorrect. So maybe consult a professional, right? Which is not for legal reasons. This is not legal tax advice. Okay. We don't know what we're talking about. Right?
I mean, I don't know. I think the advice of go talk to a professional is pretty sound advice.
I mean, yes, that advice is good, but we are not.
Everything else beyond that.
Yes, we are not that professional, right? Just so you know. I mean, consult an actual professional.
Yes. So I'm supposed to have. I'm giving two different ones. One at 10, one at 2. I'm going to give this. I don't
mean the same one probably, but
I think I'm going to do the same one. I don't know if that's what they want, but
that's what they're going to get.
That's what they're getting. Absolutely. So, yeah, it's that's yeah. So anyway, so I've got to take some time to outline that a wee bit more, because I always talk and present fast, like very fast. I tried something new the other week. I had to give a little presentation, and I wanted to do something that I'd never done before. So I actually tried to like script out and do a manuscript version of something where I wrote it all in my voice, and then I was going to try and read it back like that. And I was doing a couple different things to figure out like how many words per minute should this be, because I've never done this before, and this was just an experiment, like to see, like I don't know, I don't like it, but I've never really done it or tried it. It was like usually, for 30 minutes, what was it, like 1,800 words will be more than enough. And so I was like, great. So I wrote 1,800 words. I read them out, my usual cadence. Like I'm not like speed reading. I'm just like talking because I'm a fast talker, right? And it was like, cool. I still have 13 minutes left. I was gonna say, Ah, well, okay.
Yeah, that just sounds too difficult. Like I am not about that. That sounds awful. I don't.
Right. So I was like, okay, cool. I need 5,000 words. Oh, but other other than that, we're just settling in with our encyclopedia set.
Oh yeah, how's that going?
Oh man, we've been looking up so much stuff.
Finally, finally happened. Look at this.
Isn't it? It's so. I gotta be like, okay. So this is in a 2010 World Book Encyclopedia, and it is glorious. It is absolutely glorious.
It's all of them. You got everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
all of it's included. There's not a single one missing. And I'm going to be honest, this sat on the shelf of our public library. I think, and they bought this new. These might as well be just fresh out of the packaging.
I was gonna say. Around 2010 though. All right, we're firmly ensconced in internet. So like,
Oh, I know.
you don't need.
I know.
Yeah, but that's good for you.
It's really good for me because these are not trash. They're all complete. They're all there, cover to cover. I've been through pretty much every page quickly.
Yeah. Make sure there's no like doodles or
no doodles, no tears, no highlights. I mean, I'm sure maybe I've missed one in the thousands of pages here, but like, no, it's all fantastic. And I also really love the spine art. And so they had bought a new version, right? The 2025 for one. So they put that up and then they sold this. But I'm serious, like I went to they do a book sale every year as they are due, and as I discovered last year, I have apparently kryptonite to this thing. And I showed up this year and was like, okay, it's towards the end. They were doing the buy one book, get one free. And I was like, sweet, let's go. And it was considerably diminished from when it had started. I will say that overall, so the book is 20. The World Book is 22 volumes. We collected 90 books in total from this.
Good, great,
it's a great deal, is what that is. Actually, I gotta grab the other two books that I got.
Okay, well that's just a lot of books.
Oh, it is.
Plus the 20-some World Book
22 volume book set. And so I come in and it's really diminished. Like you can tell that people picked through this over and
somehow left the encyclopedia.
Yeah,
it was meant to be.
It was. I walked in and I noticed there was a big box on the floor, and usually that's where they have like, oh, we just brought this box up from the basement, and I don't know what's in here. Good luck. But in there, just lined up perfectly, other their spines facing me, was the set. And I remember staring at it because I go to our library to work sometimes, and I study and work in the reference section. So this World Book has sat behind me for over a year. And so I immediately recognize it for what it is. And I just stare at it and I'm like, whoa. And I go over to and I start panicking a little bit. I start getting a little bit sweaty and clammy because I'm like, is this really happening? Is this happening right now?
Is it finally?
Is it finally happening? And I go over and I say, and I of course try to play it cool. I'm like, so the encyclopedia set, do you have a price for that? And she goes, oh, it's buy one book, get one free. And I went, oh, so like every other book for this 22 volume sets. And she said, it's free. And I was like, oh, I was like, turned, scrambled over as fast as I could and picked up the box and was like, Megan, I need you to see something really quick. And she was like,
we're bringing this box home.
I know. She was like, what is in that box? And I was like, okay, it's fine. It's fine. Remember how I have been talking about an encyclopedia set? And she's her face fell, and she was like, "Are you serious?" And I was like,
"You mean became elated? Like that's what you really mean.
There's one in this box. You're not going to believe it. There's a whole encyclopedia set in this box. It's all there. It's all there." And so, and so she's like, "Put it over there, and we'll look at it." And because then I start panicking because I'm like, "Oh yeah, I bet there's something missing. There's something horrible with this." Like, or then I started to panic of what if some weirdo came by and grabbed like the W's?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and somebody took like one, right? Like, I don't know why they would do that, but it's
people
possible that somebody would do that, right?
Yeah, yeah, but no, all there, glorious, untouched, unmolested, it's not even dingy from people's fingers, pawing through this stuff. And I was like, well, I sure. Is it 15 years old? Absolutely. Is most of the stuff in here really going to change for the kind of things that the World Book Encyclopedia covers? No, right? Yeah. Like, it's not going to have too much different. Am I going to know who the most recent information about the most recent election? No, but information about uranium probably not changing a whole lot. So we're as a general reference for $6.50. Come on. So it's on our bookshelf. It's glorious. I love the spine artwork. I've already said that. They always do a good job with these, but this one is it's people from history are on the spine. So it looks really neat. Some of them have like animals, like that was the series that they would go through. They're like, it's a shark, which is very striking, or like it's an elephant. But I'm like, that's not what I really think of when I think of encyclopedia.
Well, yeah. So. Well, I mean, the ones that I remember were just like red.
Oh yeah.
So, and the ones that Susan has are like cream color.
Yeah,
that's it. They're cream and brown. Because it's a 70s encyclopedia set.
Yes.
So obviously it's cream and brown. But it's
okay. Say that. You didn't
like
say
what
70s.
What other color would it possibly be? Right? It's just obviously the correct answer. But it's
yes. That's the correct answer. So yeah, I don't know when they started doing the spine artwork, and I think there's a technical name for that.
There probably is.
Where like as you put all the books together,
I don't know, but
I don't know. I if only I could have something to look up. What this is.
But how do you look that up in Encyclopedia? What is the name?
Oh, so this was the thing. I immediately had to start showing the kids how to use the reference index, the reference guide, right? That you have, book number 22, or 23, whatever. Where this is where you go for certain terms, like to know all of these terms. Because they might not, especially if you go to where you're like, oh, I want to look up a T-Rex. Like, sure, it's probably under T, but it may also be under something else. So if you don't find it under T, that doesn't mean it's not in here. You just have to go look at the reference and see where it is, because it will tell you where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yes. So yes, this was good. This is good. We've already used it. We've looked up poison hemlock, because that was because the kids were doing something in history and Socrates came up. So as one does, and then we are going through. We just finished watching the Two Towers Lord of the Rings movie. So the kids went over, and it's 2010 in here, and Lord of the Rings is in here.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. So what we are doing now is we are finishing up some big core subjects for the kids. We've worked through all of their grade level material, and so we have this time. And so Megan came up with the idea to do more of just like unit studies. So each of the kids is going to pick a topic that they're going to do some research on, and we're going to get one of those little trifold presentation boards. Then they're going to have to like answer some general questions, the same, the who, nice. When, where, why, how, and then they've got to talk about it. And I was like, and I got an encyclopedia set just in time.
Oh yeah, and then she rolled her eyes again at you. when you said that.
And I thought that was pretty. I was like, man, I'm good at this. So yeah,
yeah.
I brought up one. I brought up the U. It's in my hand right now. I'm looking at Frankie Valli. And so we can learn about the value added index or Valley Forge. It's all here, people. It's literally all.
I think maybe skip value added index. Right? That doesn't really.
Okay.
It doesn't really scream exciting, but
we can learn about Van Buren. I went to a presentation the other day from a girl who is starting a clothing company, and she's like, I'm from this really small town. You probably never heard of it. And of course I was like, what town are you from? And she was like, oh, Van Buren. And I was like, I love Van Buren. Like, it's such a cool town. The Current River. And
it's true. Weirdly, I believe an episode of this show has been recorded in Van Buren. I believe you were there.
I was there recording in a hotel in Van Buren along the Current River. So yes.
There you go. Yes. There you go. Tie in. Look at that. Bang.
Look at that. That's what we do here. That's what we do. That's what we do. Yeah. So
that's my superpower. Making really random connections that don't matter.
Oh, there we go. Nailed it. Everything's a deep cut if you try hard enough.
It's true. Especially with this show. Man.
Oh my gosh. What's really funny is when you look online for back to encyclopedias really quick. When you look online for encyclopedias and like reviews or people's takes on them, weirdly, again, because of the world that we live in 2025, you will find things like this. The World Book Encyclopedia is a print encyclopedia, so it is not dependent on electricity or an internet connection.
Thank you for telling me how books work. That's really important.
I love it.
Thanks a lot, man.
So much. It makes me. Oh, it hurts, is what it does. It hurts me so bad.
That one really does. That hurts pretty good. What the heck?
Oh, yes, but I did walk away with the 19th century French tales.
Good
as well.
Good. That's important.
I have not.
I would have gone with that one.
Yeah, I've not started this one. But
listen, you don't have to read it all at once. You can just read a tale or two at a time.
It's some of these tales are like an page.
Yeah. See, beautiful.
Yeah. So, guess yeah. Anyway, so that's on my desk now. I've got that, and by Engel Flores right there in the public library.
Yeah.
I feel bad about the book sales because it means that, these are books that nobody was checking out or have lost, relevance. Because again, I have this view of libraries as being repositories of information for all time. But then I have to remember that the little town public library that was built back in the little 1920s.
Town public. Yeah, that's the Library of Congress you're thinking of. You're thinking about the Library of Congress, not.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Your local library center, right? That's not.
It hurts me. It hurts. Yes. But I'm like, okay, well, I mean, if somebody's got to be a repository of information, I guess it's me.
So there you go.
Starts with an encyclopedia set. So yeah, that's my week. I've been running hither and thither and doing all that stuff. So yeah. Are you healed from your nasal afflictions?
I believe for the most part, yes. Knock on wood there. Yes, I believe so. I had to bust out the ancient knowledge, right? And to finally help it go away. Right? I'm still having a little bit of sinusy stuff, but I think that's just normal spring, blah. But I had to bust out some ancient knowledge, right? To finally start making me feel better a little bit.
Okay.
My throat was killing me, right? So I had to cast my mind back and I had to think, what would my grandmother do? Well, she would have gargled with salt water a long time ago. So that's what I
Yes.
You know, you bust that out twice and holy cow, healed. Like,
wow.
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Nice.
It was weird. I was like, whoa, this is so much better. Oh my God.
Salt water. Nice. It's good.
Yeah,
Did you do now? Do you do warm water? Do you do you do? Okay.
Yeah. Not like hot.
No.
Because you have to gargle it still. But like, yeah, I did warm. You want it cold. Yeah. Plus it wouldn't dissolve as well.
Right.
Cold. Right. You gotta get that solute up, right? Like, so we got
it. Yeah, absolutely.
That concentration in your solution higher. But yeah, so pretty warm water and just like big fat like tablespoon of salt in there. Just whap.
Boom. I like it.
Yeah, that helped, I think, a lot. Like a lot. So the magic of the salt water was what did it. And then all of a sudden my throat it was so much better. I was like, oh, well, okay. I guess it's like, oh, I'm taking this medicine, doing this stuff. It's not going away. My throat still like hurts, blah, blah. But like, it wasn't like, it was weird because it was like sinus hurts because like sometimes it hurt and it would stop for a while. And sometimes it hurt like on this side. Oh, just kidding. Sometimes it hurt on that. I was like, what the heck?
Oh, I had my
stupid. I hate
it was the left side of my throat for the longest time. The left side. Where it was like, why you? Why not both? Like I would be less annoyed if both sides hurt equally, but no, just my left side hurts pretty bad.
Yeah. I even one night, like, I can't remember what, there was one night where, like, I woke up and I, like, could not breathe. Like, my nose was so just like,
oh no.
Done. And I was like, cover that. There we go. And so I was, like, coughing and blah. So I had to, like, I just got up. I had to get up. And I took some medicine, and we had the Susan remedy of the old vinegar and honey there. That helped a lot too. The combo, right? The professional combination there. That helped a lot. So I think finally, plus just like normal medicine stuff. Pretty well got it knocked out. Again, still a little congested, I guess, but like, you know, that's just always there sometimes. So like
there's always
pretty much.
I'm glad you're feeling better too.
Yes, it's great. I can actually like speak, not coughing all crazy. So sorry, listeners, for last time. It was a little much. So yeah, my week though has not been very productive because we're on spring break. So like, we did like a weird. Again, I don't know. My school decided to treat spring break like the traditional Thanksgiving break this year. Like we went Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, right. You mentioned this. I don't understand. I do not understand this decision.
Right. I mean, look, this is better than the normal amount of spring break that we usually get, which is nothing. So,
because of snow days? Or just
no, we just usually don't get one. They're like,
what?
Our school is like, they're very kind of like, oh, you can have a 4-day weekend. Oh, and you can have another 4-day weekend.
Oh, this is unsettling.
Guys. Well, it's been like that forever. Rogersville used to be like that too. Like when I was a kid, there was no spring break. That was illegal in elementary school. It was like, nah, we're not doing that. But so this year we have a actual spring break, kind of, sort of. Nice. But like we came Monday and Tuesday, and you know that's kind of difficult to like accomplish things with children's. Because, like,
sure,
you know, Tuesday is just like, so we kind of had to, luckily, it just fell right this time that I was able to, like, make it doable, right? We ended up just with, like, where my schedule was with my lessons and stuff, like, it was fine. But it's really kind of hard to be like, what are we going to do Tuesday? Because, like, I want to do stuff, but also, which stuff? And where do I stop? Because like I don't want to stop on anything that's gonna be like, oh, okay, we're gonna need another class time to do this. because that next class night will be in 5 days. So I don't want to do that.
Oh,
I had to do that a couple of times this year just because of like snow days or whatever, or like celebration days or other things. Like, okay, so sorry about this, guys. This is going to take us 2 days to do, but the next day is going to be in 4 days from now. So sorry.
oh my goodness.
But it's fine.
Wow. So, well, hopefully you've survived.
Yeah, it was all right. So I don't have really anything exciting happening. We are going to plan on going. Well, we're not really doing anything this week. We're just going to like hang out and do nothing. So,
oh, nice.
But I do have some random updates for you, right? So I've been watching. I was going to watch some Clarkson's Farm, right? But then I got distracted. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. Maybe by next time. But I did watch season 3 of Reacher, right? Ooh. I watched that show on Amazon, right? I will say, overall, there's no big review here, but like pretty good. Telegraphed the opening pretty hard in the first episode, right? Like you immediately know something is not as it seems. Okay, this is a spoiler for 10 minutes into the episode, so there you go.
Oh, cool.
Right. But also, I just want to say, last season was kind of bad, but this season is also, they're just like, the whole thing is dark. Like, I actually can't see it because a lot of them happen at nighttime, right? And they're going for like the realism thing, And so like, there's things happening and I don't know what's happening because they like fired the lighting director or something because there's no light anywhere in this dang show. And it's ridiculous. And I'm over it. And it's like, I have one episode left, but like, what? Why?
I don't understand the need to have just dark and like poorly lit everything. It seems very it seems to be an epidemic of dark TV shows. And sure, not dark as in like, oh, subject matter is kind of
no, like they turn the lights off.
Like physically, I can't see this. I cannot see what's going on the screen.
So I know. We've talked about this for a little bit. Like,
yeah,
people think they want that, right? Because you watch a thing, you're like, oh, it's night. Why is it so bright? Oh, it's so I can see what's happening.
Ta-da!
Surprise! That's amazing.
Oh, wow!
Turns out if I'm going to watch a thing, I actually want to watch it. Right? Here's what I want to do. I want to actually watch it. So there you go. Real. That's my critique of Reacher season 3. I can't see half of it.
I can't see half of it.
So I don't know what's good or not. I literally can't see it. What the heck? I also saw that Wheel of Time season 3 is coming, and I just can't anymore. I've given up. I cannot watch that show anymore. It's too bad. It's too confusing. It's too not good. I'm abandoning it. I can't do it. I don't think I actually finished season 2. It's too bad. It's too boring.
I think
I'm sorry, Rosamund Pike, but my goodness.
I saw a short clip of something that was supposed to be from them, and I was like, oh, I think the trailer is, I guess, what I'm describing is a trailer. Is the word that my brain's fine. But I saw a short clip of that was trying to get me to watch it.
It's the internet now. It's not always a trailer because it's like 10 seconds. Like, that's not really.
And I remember my first thought when I saw it was, well, their costumes haven't gotten any better. Anyway, next.
They haven't. Actually, I was thinking about this the other day because, all right, so yes, on costuming, right? Here is my thoughts on, I have a new costuming theory.
Ooh.
Right? So like, yes, the costuming in Wheel of Time is not good. because everybody is dressed the same, right? And everything looks brand new and shiny, and it's kind of like whatever. And it's hard to distinguish people, you know. And this is not just that problem. There is this problem in costuming in a lot of movies where and TV shows where everybody is wearing like the same clothes, right? And it is very difficult to easily discern who the characters are visually. Right?
Yes.
You notice this? This happens a lot.
Yeah. There's a distinctive, I mean, you especially see this. Okay, so a really great example for what you're talking about here, this visual distinction. I mean, just think video game characters, right? Like,
yeah,
just think immediately when you think of, you know, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, all these things, like, you know, just by silhouettes what people are or who they are. And now it's just this blobs of people. And again, this is not I think it's important to point out, this is not a knock against the actors themselves. This is 100% costume design,
because they were dressed that way.
Like, this is you put people in this, it's your fault.
That's true, right? But I think that costuming is like, now, I'm not saying that this is like every single show and movie ever, right? There's obviously ones that do it well, right? But I think generally, currently, like what you see a lot of is like with these like kind of trends in cinema, right? Like we have the it's too dark, I can't see you. We have the everything kind of looks the same, and there's not a lot of like visual distinction between characters, right? Everybody's either in like a suit or like whatever. It's just like all samey, right? You know what genre this does not happen in? Western. Right? Western as a genre is like, it has its own problem, right? And some of it is, sometimes it's blah. But yesterday I was just watching a random spaghetti Western thing, right? As one does from time to time. And like, was the plot really good? No. Right? Was it even like easily discernible what was actually happening sometimes? Not really. Were the scenes way too long? Yes. Could you definitely tell who every single main character was by just glancing at them?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. And I feel like, in my experience with Westerns, this is a thing that just, it's like common in the genre. Like, I don't really know why, but like, I don't know how cowboy has such a diverse dress code, but it does, right? Like, in most media, when the Westerns are being presented, like, the characters are extremely like distinctive, right? I think most, even like a movie like Tombstone, right? Every character has a very unique look, right? John Wayne movies, right? There's like the three good guys and then like a bad guy. The good guys, though, they have a distinct look, right? Any Clint Eastwood movie, distinct feature.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Right? But I think it's interesting that currently, in my opinion, the genre that best like utilizes costuming to distinguish between characters is the Western genre. Who knew cowboy hats could come in that many shapes?
Not me.
Not me either. But it is like a near infinite.
There we have it. And that's
permutations on a hat, right? Leads to everybody having a distinctly visual look.
Well, and maybe that is an intentional aspect of it. I don't know, because there's so few elements to actually work with. it really does come down to styling of the elements, as opposed to everybody's just in the same costume. I do wonder why that's an intentional choice. To why they're not styled better. Interesting. I don't know. This is there's some general theory that we can probably pull together from this for why.
That's true. We'll workshop this one.
Yeah.
This would be one of those weird Oh Brother theories happening. But I just was thinking about this yesterday. Like this is everything that Wheel of Time is not. Right? It was same shirt, same color, same whatever. Like even the cowboy, right? They're just like almost everybody is wearing like boots, pants, shirt, vest, hat. And yet sometimes coat, sometimes style. Jacket, right? Yeah, the styling is so unique. Right? Even I've been watching that Dark Wind show, right? It's about like Navajo police in like the 1970s. It's super good, right? It's amazing. But like even those dudes and the lady, right? Like they are all just like policemen, but they all have the same uniform, but they're visually distinct from each other. Right? Just even that. Maybe it is the hat. Maybe it's the hat. I don't know. Maybe it's the hat pulls. Maybe it's the hat. Maybe more
here's
genres need hats. Right.
the people could put hats on their characters and increase the styling, but they choose not to. So this is where I'm going. What's fallen down? What has stopped? Why? Why for? Anyway, I don't know.
I don't know.
Very interesting.
This is just a thing that I was thinking about yesterday. I was watching this thing and I was like, man, like I was only kind of like half watching at some point because it was kind of not great and it's kind of boring. And they did that. So like some spaghetti westerns, because everybody just like, oh, I can make a movie like Sergio Leone.
Oh, sure.
No, you can't. Like, can you have a big, long, drawn out sequence with no dialogue and just music and like clearly convey what's happening? No, not everybody can do that.
Also, no.
So like, so there's some points I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but I know who that guy is. And I know that he's going after that guy. Boom. That's all I need to know because I can visually tell them apart.
Yeah.
Very quickly at a glance. Right? There you go. So this is this is just something we're going to workshop here. But this
just wanted to bring this to your attention. Theory here.
Yeah, unifying costume theory, right? We'll work on that.
Yes.
Right? To be published at a later date. But
so did you end up watching Clarkson's Farm?
I'm going to as soon as I watch the last episode of Reacher. I don't generally like to watch two things simultaneously.
Yeah.
Because I like, especially when they're like that, especially when like Reacher, there's only like 7 episodes, I think, anyway. So like, just watch them and get them done.
Gotcha.
Go on to something else. So there's no reason why I couldn't do that, but I generally don't, which is weird because like I'll read like 9 books at a time, but like shows, nah. I'm gonna watch one, and then I'm gonna watch another. It doesn't make any sense, but it's fine. It's okay. So yeah, but I'm planning on watching that. So we'll let you know how that goes.
I like it.
Yeah, there you go. Other updates.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled the trigger. I have bought a pair of boots. Gasp.
Okay. Gasp a paw and a half.
Yes.
Okay. Why? What was this? Was this something that you've been thinking about for a long time?
Well, no, I was sort of toying with the idea. I needed new shoes, basically, because the shoes I wear to work are like dying. Right.
Okay.
So I thought, well, what should I do? What should a person do? And I decided we're going to try it out. We're going to buy a pair of random boots and we're just going to see how that goes.
Just random boots.
I mean, not exactly random. I had to think about that part once I decided. Boots.
Sure.
And the most important part of this was these are like 50% off boots. So even better. That's the best part about this. That's the real reason I actually bought these ones because sale, right? It may have even been 60% off, I think. So like,
wow.
Yeah,
okay.
we're
Good
not mad
choice.
at that.
Love it.
Yeah, that's what we did there. Bought some boots. You go. Pretty super casual, like chugga boot things. That's what I bought. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, did I remember how horrible it is to break in a pair of leather shoes?
Oh.
No, I did not.
Not.
Man, let me tell you.
Sorry.
Day one, not wonderful.
Oh. Yeah.
Day one, poor. Very poor. Day two, also not great, right? Not the best. I tried to wear them around the house a little bit for like an hour or so before, but man, no. Day one, murder. Like,
oh no,
it was bad.
Now, so these are like, are these okay? Cowboy boots, work boots, like where's the line here? Are these like pointy toed cowboy boots?
No. They're like super casual boots. They're like I said, they're chukka boots, right?
Oh,
they're
sorry.
like,
I had missed that. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I kind of said that fast there. So they're like pretty chill on the boot spectrum, right? They are not anything fancy. Definitely no cowboy boots. I do own a pair of cowboy boots. I haven't actually worn them in a large amount of time because it just doesn't really feel correct, right? Like, I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
Absolutely.
It just feels wrong, right? I don't know. But yeah, I've been wearing them to work in, right? Just to have something to wear.
Yeah.
To work, right? A little better than just like random tennis shoes, but it's like not really that. It's not like dressy. You know what I mean? So pretty super casual. And after the first week, they are much more comfortable now. I tell you that. Holy cow. Turns out wearing them for a while, that's the real trick. But also the other positive for boot wearing, right, to think about is boots come in wide sizes.
Oh.
And I have quite wide feet.
Oh.
So like this was the other thing. I was like, oh yeah, that could be an interesting thought. Now I did think I mentioned on here, like the problem is like, okay, but boots are a different size than like tennis shoes. So I was really paranoid about buying boots that actually fit me.
Yeah, I mean, so was this an internet purchase?
Yeah. Because I don't have any place. Where am I going to go around here to buy shoes? Nowhere. That's where I'm going to
go. Fine. Fine. I get it.
So that was the other, like I was a little terrified, right? Like, oh no, what do I do? Which is why I generally just only buy one brand of tennis shoe, right? Because shopping stresses me out and I don't like it. I just buy Adidas shoes only because I know that I need this size and any size in this, any size, like no matter what I buy in Adidas shoes, if I get this size, it'll be fine. Right. That's just how I think about it. So this was a departure that was very difficult to deal with, right? And think about. Plus, when you read the reviews, they're like, oh, they do run a little big. I'm like, oh, dang it. Now, I definitely can't order my tennis shoe size because then it'd be way too big, right? So, like, then I got to really, like, do I go down another half size? Like, oh, what do I do?
Yeah, then you're really stuck.
So, but overall, I think these are pretty good. I think they're fit pretty good. They may be like a touch big, but that's fine. It's better than too small, right? That's the one thing I didn't want is like to not be able to get them on at all. That would have been
sure. Yeah, because then you're really up a creek of like,
yeah, you're like, dang,
no,
because they always do fit a little bit better after you've broken them in and stuff. But if they're too small to begin with, then you can't break them in, and then like you'll never get there. So like whatever. But overall, not bad, right? So that's what that was my big
Brandon raves
departure.
Not bad.
Right? Yeah. It's all right. It's a big step, right? Okay, for
well, yeah,
person that like exclusively wears tennis shoes, right? This is a big step up, and
absolutely, I understand. I get it. It's good.
Well, that's the only other exciting thing I've been up to. Trying to break in new shoes.
Well, it's exciting times.
Sure is. It's that's about it, really.
Okay. Well, I have a haiku I could read.
I would love it if you would.
Okay, good. Well, because I was going to.
Hooray!
How that works. Okay. So here's my haiku. Worlds at my doorstep.
I knew it.
Pages whispering secret. $6, well spent joy.
Beautiful. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I knew what it was going to be about. I just knew.
If we're being honest, it was a bit. We know it comes as a shock and surprise to nobody.
It's okay. The haiku is about capturing feeling, Collin. Yes. That's all that matters here, right? You've captured your feeling of excitement, right? That's what we need, right?
Yeah.
Haikus are about capturing feelings in moments. Boom.
So captured.
And you've done that beautifully.
Thank you. Captured.
Immortalized forever.
There we go. Exactly. Right. Maybe we'll see. So
there you go.
So yeah,
maybe
I'm gonna go wrap up tonight. I gotta go finish perusing my book 20. And we'll go to there. So anyway,
all right,
wonderful. Well, I look forward to Clarkson Farm Review next time.
Oh, yes.
Also, we need to talk. There's some news also on their front as well that I'm conflicted about. So we'll we'll talk.
All right.
We'll talk. Okay, very good. Well, I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.